So before we get started, so-called transmission, we need to come back to the intention, motivation. So that's really counts. In a sense, there's no such a thing as self-existing transmission, powerful transmission out there. Everything up to us, in a sense, those lineage masters who carried these precious practices and so-called transmission empowerment, those become powerful only when we become a receptive vessel to receive. How about we sit quietly, although you have been doing for some time, maybe I need to sit quietly to really look into what's here. I invite you to feel into that which does not come and go, despite whatever is happening externally, internally. What is it? So see if you can take a moment to pause, feel into the body. I feel this special circle in the ancient forest. We all gather with intention or perhaps longing for something deeper, and just a little bit connect. What is it? What are you longing? What brings you here? What's your deepest longing? Even those of you who have just a kind of light-hearted curiosity about this event, perhaps encounter through Facebook or just happened to Google and came up, whatever reason, just you here. You registered, you click the button to join us. So something here. So see if you can dig the source of your action to be here. You know what I mean? See if you can trace that smell to this Buddha nature, basic goodness. These two practices, according to our ear whisper lineage, have been carried by great masters and came to this present time. And this was secretly or more discreetly transmitted in the past. But I thought about this year, last year, what we have been facing, in Buddhism. If you are part of this Buddhist world, so to speak, you know many practices. There are so many approaches, practices, lineages. Among them, I thought maybe today is the last transmission of the year. I thought about what's good for us, what's powerful, what's potent. And I thought about these two Dakini practices. Dakini arrives when the time becomes very difficult. Perhaps you might have been drawn to this event because of that. Last session journey, somebody said, I want to do something about it. Whatever happening in the world and our life, families, in action. I want to see the change, transformation. So this is the practice, the one which I will introduce if you haven't received the transmission yet. And those of you who have received in the past and practicing, then again renew your commitment to be in the world and the service of all beings, to protect all beings, your mother, father, child beings. Then source of that capacity to be able to do that is this Buddha nature, basic goodness. Fundamentally, we are not damaged, or who and what we are, which does not disappoint us, does not abandon us, does not come and go depending on the circumstances. That one very trustable. However, it's veiled. Sometimes we see glimpses through practice, but in general, those are covered up by temporary obscurations. So the entire practice, Dharma practice, unfolds to remove, unveil and dissolve that obscuration so that gold shines through. Gold, that is who you are. Gold nugget, 28 gold nugget here, shining. I can see through your sparkling eyes. Two transmissions. One is the supplication to Magic 5 Dakinis. Another one is Vajra Yogini in the 8 prayers. But just let me say a few words. These are both are my favorite practices and the lifelong practices. I'm still working on it, so to speak, on every occasion. When I'm sad, when I'm happy, when I'm driving, when I'm nothing to do, automatically comes up. I hope you are here to bring these two practices into your daily life, so to speak, off the cushion practice life, not about collecting the transmission or collecting the text. I don't think anybody like that, but just I wanted to clarify, because nowadays there are so many transmissions and empowerment, even empowerment, or those are Jenan, it's called permission initiation online, and also teaching available online so easily, just click it and just join. Right? I wanted to kind of know these two are my heart practice and very precious. And it's not about you just bring it, then put on the shelf, even worship or nothing like that. I want you to really integrate. I want to become one with this practice, then taste it. It's get deeper and deeper. I still discover the profundity of each lines, this application to magic. This is talking about many things. One is this unveiling with nature. As if this is just talking one son, Machiku's son, Gelwa Dondup, 12th century yogi, Machiku's eldest son, praised his mother. But that's not only it. So that's the kind of initial devotional song. We can take it as a really devotion, role of devotions, or how the devotion plays a role in tantric practice. I want you to taste it. Why it's so important to pray, make a prayer and praise and connect to the divine presence. Those things gives you lots of opportunity to deeper your practice. Some of you may not think prayer is not that important in tantric practice. We are kind of advanced practitioners. So no, therefore we need a prayer, this kind of. We need to let go of this small sense of self, small island of self. And we kind of dive into the vast ocean of divine presence. So that requires this humility, devotion, trust, and courage, surrendering. All those words, I don't know how they sound, surrendering, like a symbol of weakness or something like that in modern culture, but we need that one. These practices allowed us to be able to, or help us to develop a capacity to surrender, trust, and develop the courage and the confidence in actually one's own true nature and taste it. So use a lot of emotional feeling and whatever comes out, experiences. So I want you to allow that to come out. You might not feel that sort of feel easy to those kind of, maybe tear comes flows and or maybe heart is beating and can't help but thinking, recalling some event from the past and so forth. That's great. So you use that, everything, whatever comes up, we use in Tantra as the part of our growth, nourishment, then transform it to attention, one-pointed attention. And then she looks through that as a wisdom. As you know, transmission is again not a self-existing entity out there, something heart to heart. perhaps your heart and your Buddha nature. Then perhaps me as a mirror of your own Buddha nature. I'm nothing, I'm empty, just kind of holding a mirror so that see if you can surrender and look into the mirror and rest in this case. Ear open, heart open, on the basis of this confidence in your true nature, which is pure and perfect. So entire prayer is chanted with the lineage melody. So this practice is a part of a big text called Shiva Ramsap, according to the Dakini ear whisper lineage of Machik Dakini, which has been transmitted very secretly, discreetly, and very precious one in terms of preservation and so forth. I kind of took what you call the liberty to share this part with you so that you can get some drops of this taste of the Dakini's ear whisper lineage, so that in the future that drop hopefully will ripen and carry to the next generation and another generation and so forth. When my teacher, Kekaji Tsundamba, came to the West, and his intention was to put the Dakini's ear whisper lineage drop in the West, barbarian land of West. This is a very significant practice and text. Especially this part, the prayers, is one of the first practice we do during the 7-night retreat. Once we receive the uncommon initiation of Cho, first we received, many of you have received the common Cho empowerment. Then second level, you can say, is the uncommon one. So as soon as you receive the uncommon one, then we have to go off to the wilderness, so-called 7-night retreat. We're gonna engage. Anyway, at that time, teacher start chanting first line. Then all disciples surrounding the teacher join. Then slowly going off to the place that scares you, or the kind of challenging places. Then practice all night long. And this particular practice called Shiva Ramsap, the profound path of peace. How about we recite English translations? Then we know the way in which Gelwa Dondup prays his mom. It's very emotional and moving. If your mom or if your daughter or son or child, I mean, everybody is a child of somebody, right? Then this is quite moving. You know, like a longing for a mother as your teacher, mother as the person who raised you, and the mother as the divine presence, mother as everything, Prajna Paramita. What do you think? What kind of experience arising in you? So now we're gonna chant with melody, so that brings you up to connect to our subtle body. Whenever we chant with the lineage melody, which came from awakened mind, connect, resonate in our subtle body. So this is the way to pray, actually. This is what he really wants. He's praying. Gelwa Dondup, Machik's signs, and bless me that I may turn negative condition to path. Doesn't say that stop negative conditions. Give me only good condition. That's not what he's praying. As a Cho practitioner, as a Dharma practitioner, that's not the way we pray. We make a sincere prayers. Bless me that my adversity shine as aid, as a support. Then bless me that I cut through the root of confusion, not just a branch of confusions, and this and that, just the root, fundamental source of confusion, ignorance. May I be able to cut through. Then finally, bless me that I realize the unborn nature of my mind. Unborn is a synonym for emptiness, empty nature of my mind. If you like, you can imagine again, open your heart to this awake presence. In this case, Machik in the center and 5 Dakinis in front of you, above you, as a support, reflecting your 5 expression of your Buddha nature. Then surrounding you is these suffering beings, human beings. Then we practice on behalf of them, make a sincere prayers. Just to take a moment to rest the echo of your experience, direct experience. These devotional songs stir up, deep, resonate deep inside of us. This is a song for longing for meeting Mother. In Buddhism, Tantric Buddhism, we talk about at the moment of awakening, as if the little child meet with the mother who never left, like a jump onto the lap of mother. Oh, you're here. I know you. I thought you're gone. They unite. This is called the union of mother and child luminosity. So in this level, we are practicing to familiarize ourselves using this power of devotion and emotion. So if you can rest in your direct experience, how was this practice for you and how you think you can incorporate these two practice into your daily life. So in any occasions, something deeper, can you connect to the deepest dimension of who and what we are by reciting. So we make it this one. I hope all of you make these two practice part of your lifelong practice.
This gratitude, just had been looking through the text, that particular text, the supplementary text, and had always read that practice, with the Machik, and was like, I wonder about that. Do we just read that and just keep reading that? And now here we have this given. It's like, so it's just it just feels good. It feels it just feels good. Very complete.
Yeah, yes. Now you are in the current of this river of blessing. You receive blessing. I don't have any power, but our great masters carry this practice as a precious treasure. So now I kind of transmit it you. And so in a sense, you are now in the river. So now time to swim with this one. Yeah, thank you.
I always recite the 8-line phrase, taking it from your example, like driving, and of course when I practice, but I never get emotional. But then when you sing it, I just pour tears. So I just I don't know what the difference is, but I just wanted to tell you that was my experience today. So thanks for singing.
Yeah, whatever experience comes up or not coming up. So that's our experience, the expression of Buddha nature. No question about that.
The melody is very important, I feel. So I have to remember that, so I can sing it.
How did you feel? You like this melody or?
Yes, very nice.
Or, yeah.
Very delicate.
Yeah.
Very sensitive, very delicate. Very close.
Intimate, maybe. I don't know.
Yes, intimate. Thank you.
Yeah, just you are tasting the flavor of Dakini ear whisper lineage of wandering yogis and yoginis.
I loved what you said about a child realizing his mother is always there. That really struck a deep chord with me, and I thought about motherless children and how that sentiment would provide so much relief around the world. It was really a universal expansion when you said that. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, mother and child theme. Each of us, we have to really discover the mother within, no? Already who and what we are. Just to see, we can take a few moments to dedicate. Dedication is about really whatever goodness that comes from today's session or in the past, even in the future, what we're going to do after this, whatever. See if we can dedicate, drive there toward the direction of the complete freedom and perfect awakening. Especially this time, I think this year, last year, reflecting the suffering of all the beings, phenomena. May this be the cause for removing or easing their pain as much as possible. May I be the lamp onto the path of all being, like a lighthouse which dispels the darkness in the world. May I be able to continue to be so. Again, next year, whatever, I will do my best to do so.